Hey guys, so welcome to my channel. I'm Ryan and today we are looking at the newest addition to the gacha slash anime kinda space, something like that, because it doesn't really belong into any of those categories per se, but we'll see. I'm of course talking about the new upcoming open world RPG slash gacha slash, I don't know, like wuxia novel type game where winds meet. I'm very interested in that. To be honest, it kinda flew under my radar for quite a bit there, although I have noticed it, and I'm very interested to see what they have to offer us. So let's get right into it. I want to watch their recorded live stream and just go over my opinions, break it down, see what we can deduce from it, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get on right into it. Okay, so let's rewind it a little bit forward, or wind it forward. Oh, but those locations looks absolutely insane. Damn. Like, already I know that my PC is going to have some issues with this one. Holy crap. Okay, let's rewind it a little bit further. Just skip through no scenes. Damn it. Like, it looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm hoping that the optimization for this game is going to be good. That's my first takeaway, because it looks absolutely bonkers.
All these years, I've wanted to see what the jungle is like.
Uncle John, when will you finally let me go out there?
The Jianghu. Everyone dreams of venturing into it. But once they're lost in its vast sea, they seek the nearest shore.
Okay. Like, they are going all out on that wuxia novel type shit. Holy crap. Damn. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, like, it looks absolutely amazing. But like, the fact is that this is still just a cinematic. Although I have this feeling that they are going to try their best to make the combat as fleshy as possible in this game. So okay. Damn. Okay. Like, story-wise, I don't fucking know what's happening here. Like, not a chance in hell I'm gonna... anybody's gonna figure out what the fuck is happening there. Okay, so... Of course, for the trailer, of course, for the intro, it hypes it up to eternity and beyond. Like, it looks absolutely insane. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. But the fact is that trailers do that most of the time. Every single trailer is done so the game is portrayed in the best possible light that it can. So, let's continue. We'll see what the devs have to say about it. Stepping into a new world.
Where Winds Meet
But
is
first-
a very unique game.
Yeah, the animations are really good.
So this is a game that sort of combines multiple genres into one in a rather interesting way.
Interesting and beautiful open world.
How big the city is and how much detail is packed in.
전체적으로 트리플 A급 오픈월드 게임에 필적하는 높은 퀄리티를 확인할 수 있었는데요.
Okay, where are the English subtitles, man?
做什么事完全由你决定。
玩呢啲武俠 game 咧，我就會覺得好 relax。
Where Winds Meet surprised me by the amount of depth in its systems and content.
Okay, so we see that it already has gotten a lot of coverage. We know that it's gotten a lot of coverage already. Because it had some beta tests, right? But still, I really want to take... because I specifically didn't look for any information about the game beforehand. So I really want to give my honest first opinion on the game. So let's get right into it.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric from Everstone Studio. Welcome to our global launch preview today. We've got something special. One of our beta players is joining us to explore the world of Where Winds Meet together.
Hello everyone, I'm the Lazy Peon, a gaming content creator, and I'll be your guide to this world for this sneak peek. Today I'll be grilling the devs on the development progress of the game.
I still remember our first trainer review back at Gamescom 2022 in Cologne. That's when we showed the first look of this incredible world. And now, after 3 years of development and feedback from
Well, it's kind of
our
refreshing
amazing
to see that
beta
they are
players, we are officially
making
launching
this
the
global
launch
like
on
preview
November 40th.
in English.
As a Where Winds Meet beta tester about to embark on this journey, I already can't wait. Today, let's take a quick look with the dev team at what is at launch.
Hey, like, of course, we are not going to talk about like that. It's all heavily scripted, right? But still, let's see what they can give us. Okay, I'm actually interested in what part of this is real and what part of this is just green screen, like, because it looks absolutely amazing.
Where Winds Meet is an open-world action game. You will step into an epic world
Yeah.
that's so much more than just kung fu battles.
That's right, and as a huge fan
Okay.
of open world games, Where Winds Meet is completely different from any open world game we've seen so far. So what kind of world are we stepping into exactly? Let's have the devs open the gates and find out. When I enter the world of Where Winds Meet, what can I do?
What I love most is that it truly feels like living inside a history.
Okay, so, like, also, I really want to specify that I want to take this with as much of a grain of salt that I can, because until I actually try the game, I'm not going to be able to say anything definitely. So, I really want to not criticize, but I really want to look at it with as sober of an eye as I possibly can.
Wherein's meet
Let's go.
set during China's five dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, a turbulent era bridging two golden dynasties in Chinese history, the Tang and the Song dynasties. Its chaotic age gave rise to incredibly diverse cultures and legends, intertwined to create this living open world. Beyond the main story, the world is filled with tons of side content. The cool part is that the choices we make in some of these stories can actually ripple through the world and even change how certain stories end.
Okay, that's nice. That's actually very cool. If we really are going to have important decisions through the story and in doing those decisions have impact on the world, that's something that no gacha game has done. Like, or no anime, like any like this Eastern type game we've got until now. And I'm sorry that I'm actually like banging it into the like gacha bag, but even though it's not really deserving of that, because it's from what I've understood, it's really a combination of many different styles of these games. And mainly it's not even anime per se, like it's just an Eastern themed game. And yeah, so we are essentially getting a Chinese historical high fantasy game in this one. So yeah, that's my take on that.
You, your horse, and your curiosity, stepping out into this vast, unpredictable world.
Okay, it seems that they are going to try to make it a little bit more sandboxy, maybe.
You get to write your own legend.
For me, being a wuxia hero is all about freedom and exhilarating combat. Whirlwind's Meat offers a rich variety of combat styles, featuring both traditional Chinese weapons such as the sword, dual blades, spear, mo blade, and rope dart, alongside more artistic weapons inspired by classic martial arts novels like the umbrella and the fan. Each weapon has its own distinct rhythm. The mo blade can mow
Okay, so at least 7 different weapon types.
And sheer force. The dual blades can are light and nimble, great for both offense and defense. And the umbrella is elegantly effortless, as deadly as it is stealthy. These classic
No, that looks fucking cool though with the umbrella.
Martial arts sets and 23 different mystic arts, such of distinct.
Oh, wait a second.
These classic weapons combined with 12 distinct martial arts sets and 23 different mystic arts, such as Leaping Toad and Lion Roar, allow everyone to create their own unique combat style.
Well, that's a fucking boatload of variety. Okay.
A 4-time Hong Kong Film Award winner for Best Action Choreography. We've incorporated tons of film-grade motion capture to recreate aesthetic and traditional martial arts moves. Also, you can enjoy the exhilarating combat experience as you wander the world. You Kung Fu masters out there have a lot to look forward to too. There are a lot of bosses and enemies with different fighting styles across dozens of campings and regions. Even when you are just exploring a quiet valley or wandering into a misty forest, you might stumble into an epic showdown with a world boss.
Okay, so as I've said, it really looks like they are focusing on the sandbox part of these games, like really try to give us an open world where we can freely roam, have some kind of story, of course, but mainly be able to just freely explore, which is very neat. And like, of course, it sounds good on paper, but in the end, every single game or every single open world, or almost every single open world game, tries to do that. So in reality, that's essentially to be expected, right?
If I had to sum up our game in one word, it would be freedom. It feels just like a real world, only better. With martial arts, you are capable of so much more. When you need some fish, you can just grab a rope.
Nice. Fishing mechanics, always nice.
Perform Tai Chi in the water. There you go, a fish bomb. Need a quest item from an NPC. your options are quite open. Ask around for clues, negotiate a gift, or offer a generous sum to buy it outright. If you have learned the skill,
Okay, that's cool.
there are always the option of using Moon Grabber to snatch it away. We are building a world that feels alive, where days fade into nights, weather changes on a wind, and everything keeps moving all on its own. We bring a thriving city of Kaifeng to life, with thousands of NPCs living and going about their daily routines in it, and your choices may shape their destinies.
Okay, so like thousands? Really, thousands. Let me be honest, like, I'm gonna take this, exactly this, with a little bit of a grain of salt, because just imagine the load on your PC or on your system, on whichever you play, if it would actually have to render thousands of NPCs at a time. Like, if they somehow manage to optimize it so it's actually workable, like, damn, okay, hands down, that's the fucking greatest thing I have ever seen in my life. But let's be honest, I am going to look at the like specific demands later after this video. Okay, let's continue.
Be kind, and you might be rewarded with rare treasures or secret quests. Get on their bad side, and you could end up in a wuxia-style duel or being chased by their entire crew. In a world this vast, you can become anyone and live any life you want. Travel alone or walk your chosen path with others.
Okay, so for now, it really like looks as though it kind of combines. I'm getting, of course, like Black Myth Wukong. I'm getting a little bit of like Ghost of Tsushima in there.
If you are not familiar with Chinese aesthetic, that won't stop you from appreciating the beauty of this world. Every flower, every blade of grass, every rooftop tile. You can stroll the streets of Kaifeng, traverse the windswept plants, or even dance in the floral splendor of Revel Hall. More than just captivating scenery, there is a living authenticity to it all. From the layout of city streets, NPC attire, and the nitty-gritty details. The food people eat to how they work and play. We brought all of it to life based on historical records, and we've even recreated thousand-year-old artworks and poetry.
Okay, so that's something that is really interesting, because many games, or at least like in my experience, many games do not really focus enough, in my opinion, on the small little details that make the games pop. Because if you add enough small things, it essentially makes one big thing. So if you have that much detail in the world that it really looks alive and authentic, that always makes the game much more enjoyable, at least for me. And yeah, also like the fact that they are kind of incorporating like artworks and poetry and stuff like that into this game is also very nice. But also, from a little bit more of a sober perspective, just notice how many times they are repeating that the game feels alive and that it feels genuine and stuff like that. So that's probably their main selling point, in my opinion.
This is a beauty that transcends language, and I'm sure that every wanderer will be able to appreciate this enduring aesthetic heritage.
Entering Where Winds Meet for the first time, you'll be immediately blown away by an immense level of both detail and stunning natural beauty in the open world. You'll look off into the distance,
again,
see
on repeat,
peaks, ancient structures, and have the freedom to travel there. Basically, every structure is enterable. You can interact with every NPC, and the world is full of secrets to discover.
Okay, again, like, if every single house is going to be one that you can enter, that's actually insane.
It truly does feel alive.
That's alright. Our global launch will begin with the Qinghe and Kaifeng regions.
I've also known that you've been hard at work developing more unique regions that are coming down the pipeline. Well, first, let's take a peek behind the curtains of the areas of Qinghe and Kaifang. What kind of world are we about to enter?
When I
Okay,
got some
let's
time
see.
to queue, I love just meandering around Qinghe. This is where the martial arts stream begins and every wanderer's first and most idyllic safe haven. Qinghe has
I mean, damn, okay.
wide open plains, humble
Looks
villages,
amazing.
and breathtaking natural ecosystems. The diverse landscapes included vast wilderness, secluded hamlets, flowing rivers, and deep caves. Although I hear
Holy
recently
shit.
there have been some problems with law and order, there's somebody pretended to be a wanderer going around talking about wuxia dreams and such. Setting fire to vast nets, stealing the horses of travelers, and picking fights with a village goose. People who pass by also seem to find things missing from their pockets. So strange. Actually, beneath this tranquil, idyllic land, there are winding underground caves teeming with martial arts secrets and mystery legends. In Steel Shore, the tears and dreams of a faceless man hide secrets of a former dynasty. The Bodhi Sea, which once held back countless enemies, now lies as a vast wasteland. Does someone still linger behind the veil of its crumbling ramparts? Atop Hello Peak, countless people look out for the return of someone, but only faint traces can be glimpsed throughout Qinghe. Is it illusion or something more? There are even more regions and stories waiting for you to explore. But the most important thing is that this will always be the start of your adventure and a home you can return to when the going gets rough.
Okay, so first and foremost, yes, it seems that they are really focusing, at least for now, they are mainly focusing on, and it seems that the game is going to be very story centered and that it's going to be very story rich. So every region is going to have many story quests, or like one maybe big story quests, and some, I don't really want to say side because it doesn't really seem that they're going to be, or there of course are going to be side stories, but it more like seems that they are packing many interesting and actually major stories into every region. But, and maybe the one like main storyline is going to flow from one region to the next region. But notice that this still doesn't tell us anything about the main gameplay loop, which, let's be honest, the main gameplay loop is the single most important thing about any of these live service games, because it is what's keeping the players engaged in the game. It's the main thing why we want to play the game. It's the main part of the game where we are going to spend the most time on. So that's what I am actually most interested in. Because yeah, for now, it just seems like it plays more like Wukong / Ghost of Tsushima, as I've already said. And if they actually manage to take a game like this and make the gameplay loop more in style of Ghost of Tsushima, where you actually level up your single character which you play, where you try to like level it up, take new like skills and stuff, like play around with different weapons, that's actually insane. But it doesn't really leave much space for a very satisfying like gameplay loop, or like, to reiterate, for now I just don't see what the gameplay loop is going to be in this game. I can see that the story is going to be amazing. I can see that this world is going to be absolutely off the rails. But what about the actual gameplay? What about the actual repetitive gameplay loop, and like events, stuff like that? That's what I'm interested about.
Kaifeng is a city of contrast.
Like, sorry to stop it one more time, but for now, like, all of those bosses which we have seen essentially, it looks like, of course, we are going to like farm materials from them probably. We are going to revisit those bosses, etc., etc.
Experience the dazzling revelry hall. Stroll through bustling ancient.
Holy fucking shit. Okay, like... Damn, that's big. Like, that's actually insane. That's like... That even looks bigger, at least like from this view, it looks bigger than like than Kyoto in Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's fucking craziness. Like even with the castle like up there, holy fuck.
Explore the majestic imperial palace or uncover the mystery of the shadowy ghost-like market. If you spend just one day in Kaifeng, you can listen to music in the pleasure quarter, gazing out upon the city lights like a carefree wanderer. Or you can join the common folk, seeking the legend of the golden leaf and rebuild rundown streets through righteous heroism. Or you can dive into the city's shadows, uncover buried secrets in the ghostlight market.
Okay, yet again, we are focusing on the story.
10,000 NPCs that you can interact with.
Okay, like, chill the fuck down. 10,000! Actually, 10,000 NPCs. Like, oh, okay, like, first and foremost, they're not going... that they cannot be rendered all at once. Like, I refuse to believe that they are going to be rendered all at once. That's just absolute insanity. But to be able to interact with... Okay, like, let's talk about the definition of interaction. Because, like, one thing is that if every single character would have some voice lines, like, that in itself would require so much resources that they will probably go broke, in my opinion. So, voice lines are either going to be non-existent, so the characters are going to be mute. That's my first thought. The second thought is that they are going to reuse some of them. But other than that, in the aspect of interaction, it just like, it also can just mean that you can steal from every NPC, like essentially if you imagine Assassin's Creed, like, or Ghosts of Tsushima and stuff like that. That's essentially the same thing. Like, to be able to interact with a character doesn't essentially mean that every single character has its own, like, interaction in the terms of some dialogue.
Can be your informants, dual opponents, witnesses to crimes, drinking buddies, and instigators of adventure. With our smart NPC system, every person you met feels real. Each character has their own unique habits and personality. When it rains, they will dash for cover, and might even start a conversation with you on the way.
Okay, you can already see like what I'm talking about. Okay, they have a lot of text dialogue prepared, obviously. So that's okay. That's absolutely fine, because as I said, they would go broke if they would like voice every single character. But still, 10,000 is really extreme. Really extreme.
You will also discover all kinds of folk culture, from shadow puppetry and pitch pot games to card tables, local opera, and lion
Okay, so there's going to be a buttload of minigames. That's also pretty nice.
Light, shadow, and a touch of magic. Ma Diao may look like a simple card game, but is packed with strategy and street smarts. And as you explore, you can uncover over 1,200 artifacts across 16 types. This whole world is yours to discover. Think of it as one big gift, just waiting to be opened.
Okay, that's cool and all, but let's be honest for a second. It's very neat that they have packed so much content into the game, and there is obviously going to be absolute insane amounts of content in the game at launch. But the thing is, what do the players get out of it? Of course, like, we can spend hours and hours on end in the game if we enjoy it. Yeah, we can just go around, we can play games, we can play mini games, we can play card games, we can like watch fucking like cockfights and stuff like that. Okay, that's all neat, but the main reason why any players would do that is if we would get rewards from it. And that's the thing, like, what do we get from it, and how valuable is it going to be for us to essentially waste time on those activities? That's the main question.
As you explore this great wide world, we hope to return to the purest and most sublime expression of martial arts fantasy. Acupoint strikes, Tai Chi techniques, the mighty drop, the lion's roar, form and intent feats, telekinesis, wall striding, and so on. This game brings to life
looks amazing, huh?
visions so deeply rooted in wuxia fantasy. The core concept of our work is a crossover and mashup of Chinese wuxia fantasy with an open world game. Wuxia warriors.
Like, yeah, it looks absolutely insane. Like, not even gonna cap.
And in this wuxia world, every wanderer is free and unrestricted. While exploring the world, we've set up many hidden places like a secret room under a stone slab. So for example, one might think to use mighty drop to crash through the floor and get to the underground. Or for example, for a treasure trove behind a stone wall, a player might use Tai Chi to use bear's weight to break open the stones and get the loot. In Where Winds Meet, you can always use any method you can imagine to achieve your goals and explore the delights of this world.
Okay, to have options is always very good in any game. And yes, it is very much going to contribute to the ease of the gameplay overall in the long run. So that is absolutely 100% a W in my opinion.
Fills me with an immense excitement to play the game again. Where Winds Meet isn't just an open world, it's a fully realized world.
It is indeed, as they say, wherever there are people, there is the Jianghu. In such a vast world, there are tons of stories waiting for you.
The journeys of countless warriors unfolding in this vast world, forging legendary tales. Listen with me to what sort of story the wind blows our way.
Okay, again, we are focusing on the story.
What sort of story will we encounter in the world of Where Winds Meet?
In our opening trailer, the characters will show Jiang Wulang, Han Xiangxun, and Yi Dao. They are foundational to the protagonist's early years. They represent home, family, and ultimately, the ones who inspired the MC's dream of becoming a wanderer. The story begins.
Okay, so that's the prologue.
We are the young master of blissful retreat. Our identity is a mystery, but we know that Aunt Han and Uncle Jiang raised us from childhood. The MC is always asking, Uncle Jiang, when are you going to take me to see the Jianghu? Well, as fate would have it, the answer comes sooner and far more dramatically than expected. That very day, a mysterious figure steals the jade pendant. The protagonist heads into town to prepare for the celebration, and in doing so, stumbles upon the secret behind Everclear Clinic, only to be swept up into the world by a dark undercurrent, marking the beginning of an adventure-packed journey.
Okay, so that's it for the prologue.
Chapter, we make our way into Heroic Assembly and learn the legend of the gold-making vessel from the amber of its invitation. Now, is it truly a miraculous treasure, or is it actually a key piece in a much deeper and darker mystery? It's here that the journey really escalates. We started as a complete outsider in this sprawling city, but through a series of fateful events, we will find ourselves tangled in real historical conflicts and conspiracies. But in the end, we will realize that even though we may seem like merely graced for the meal of fate, a true hero can still carve a path of survival for the common people. And as for how that all plays out, well, I'm afraid we will have to save that for you to discover in the game.
Okay, so now they are saying that how it plays out, they need to let it for us to, or leave it to us to discover in the game. So this puts a little bit of a question mark on the fact that they've said that we are going to be able to shape the story, which they've said before. Now, I'm not really convinced that it's going to be 100% the case. Like, maybe we are going to, and that's just my opinion, maybe we are going to be able to influence some like side stories or storylines that are not the main plot. But the main plot is obviously or probably going to be set in stone, which is absolutely okay in my opinion. Nothing wrong about that, because even through those side quests or exploration quests and stuff like that, we can still, if we are still going to be able to influence the world and the feel of the world and maybe even how the locations look, then that's absolutely okay.
We use an innovative approach that combines overt and hidden storylines. The overt storyline, the main chapters, follow the hero's personal journey, experiencing the growth of a true hero. The hidden storyline, on the other hand, is told through fragmented narratives, with clues scattered across various details of exploration. The main storyline accounts for roughly 20% of the overall story, and as the hidden story unfolds, we learn more about the vast forces at work and its past.
Okay, so we are going to obviously need to really dig deep into the world and
the story is the critical linchpin connecting the overt and hidden storylines. All of this combines to form a vivid and immersive wuxia experience. Perhaps a roadside beggar or a random book in a room will provide a clue to the hero's identity, or even impact the massive conspiracy involving imperial court. It's just like actual history. Under the surface, it's teeming with legends that spark the imagination. But no matter what joys or tears lie ahead, for a young wanderer like you, constantly pining to explore the world, we hope the story you write for yourself will be enjoyable.
Okay, still no information about the main gameplay loop.
Such an enticing world. No matter what joys or tears lie ahead, surely those tears won't be mine, right? The beginning of the player's journey is this little bamboo groove hut right beside us. Eric, have you prepared any gifts for us wanderers starting out in this world?
Of course, with the coming global launch, we have a welcome gift for all the players, and even more gifts are waiting for you to uncover in the game. In this world, not only are you free, but all the in-game content is totally free too. There's no pay-to-win in our games.
According to the developers, later
Makes sense.
will launch in-game content updates via themed seasons, some of which advance the core world narrative, whilst others will focus on introducing new game modes and limited time events.
But what only change
makes sense.
All the post-launch updates will be totally free to play. And our first season Bled Out is going to be ready for us.
After overviewing all this content together, I gotta say, Where Winds Meet is one of the most unique open world games I've ever seen. The same hero can wander the wilderness or be a face on a crowded city street, or kick back and do nothing. Whoever knew a wanderer's world could be so free and unfettered?
Exactly. So that's why we say it is the first wuxia opened world for us. Wuxia is about freedom, love, and justice. Breaking your limits, become free like the wind, and when all these free spirits meet up, that's what creates the world. Alright everyone, that's it for our global launch preview. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Don't forget,
bullshit.
Where Winds Meet launches globally on November 40th. And don't forget to pre-register on our website and get sweet rewards. You can also wishlist the game on Steam, PlayStation, and Epic stores. Follow us on social too. We can't wait to explore the world with you guys.
I already can't wait. I wish it was November 14th already, but at least for now, I have the opportunity.
Well, it is tomorrow, so
to show you all a clip of the Xinghe region mystery side story Tianying. Just a moment, it's starting soon.
Okay, live gameplay demo.
Hey everyone, thanks for waiting. I'm the Lazy Peon and welcome to the Where Winds Meet live gameplay demo.
Hi there, I'm Dalen, the combat designer on Livestream team, and super excited to be here today.
First off, a quick intro. This demo will focus on showcasing the hidden storyline boss in Xinghe, the battle against Mioshan. Word is, he's the guardian behind Xinghe's secret plotline, and honestly, there's something really mysterious about him.
Okay, so like I'm probably just gonna watch this later on because that was it for the main like part of the preview live stream of the global launch. So what did we get from it? Well, we've got the information that it's going to be a very vast open world with probably amazing, beautiful locations, and and it's going to be really detail focused. We've got the information that it's going to be a very story-centered game. We've got the information that we are going to have some, probably many boss fights in the game, which is also very nice. But, and that's the big but, we did not get essentially any information about the main gameplay loop. At least if there is any information, please let me know down in the comment section. But at least from this preview, I have not gathered essentially anything. Yes, we are getting an action open world RPG game, which is going to be very, very beautiful. It's going to be very story-centered, which is going to be very action-centered. We are going to have many variety in our builds, or character builds, but I just want to see what the end game content is going to be like. I want to see what is going to keep us in the game in the long run. And I am definitely going to be streaming this game tomorrow when it launches. But for now, I'm just convinced of one thing, that it really, really promises a breathtaking visual and probably gameplay experience. But in terms of live service, we are still yet to see what it has to offer for us. So yeah, these are all my opinions. I think I have been as honest as I possibly can about it, and I think that I've put out some very, very important questions out there. So if I've missed anything, if you know something that I don't, please leave me a comment, like the video, maybe even subscribe to my channel, and watch me on Twitch/RyanTheDwarf. I would be absolutely thrilled to have you. So yeah, that's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching my video, and have a blessed day, you guys, and see you in the game. Peace.